Hello Mgtows, hello men, hello MRAs. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the benefits of knowing how the female brain works. You're going to run into situations in your life where the females become irrational and they start demanding things. I'm going to give you a simple story, and I've used this a lot in my life. I've been in lots of relationships, so I know it works. And we can look at a video of how it works. It's called Take a Girl to the Beach. We've all seen the classic Take a Girl to the Beach where the woman was, I'll put the video in the low bar if I can find it, where the woman was being irrational about going to the work. The man, I think he was a tow truck driver or something, and he had to go do something for his work. And the female was just going off. And we've all had this happen in our lives with females that are just going off about silly, immature, irrational, emotional garbage. So in the video, he says he's going to do something. He's going to take her to the beach. He promotes the idea that this is what she wants, this is what she's driving at. This is not what's going to happen in reality. In reality, he had to do something. There was other plans, there was work plans, and things like that. So what he did is he simply lied about it. He said, yeah, we're going to do that. Then he continued doing what he had to do. And we've all seen the classic response. The classic response of a female was just get all emotional. There's good reasons for this. We hear this all the time, that women are dual-brained. They think with both sides of their brains, emotional and rational. Men are more rational. It doesn't mean men are not emotional. We are emotional. But we simply shut that side of our brain off when the rational starts happening, when we have to make these decisions about where we're going, what we're doing, if I have to go to work, if I have to do this, if I have to do that. We simply use rational decisions. Then that's when women, they can't do those decisions. What I do in this situation is, I'll give you an example. I wake up and it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I go to work. I get a phone call from my boss to go to work. At this point, she's saying, oh, I want to go to the beach. She knows I'm getting ready to go to work. She knows that I've gotten a phone call. Let's not argue the situation. She knows that. So you simply nod your head and go, yes, yeah, we're going to do that. Start packing up. Then you continue what you're doing. Take your shower, get ready, put your work clothes on, get in the car and go. She's still sitting there getting ready for her irrational vacation in her mind. So 4 or 5 hours later, you come back after you're doing what you're doing, and she's having an emotional fucking breakdown. I thought we were going to the beach. Oh yeah, we're going to go to the beach, I tell her. I simply tell her I'm going to do whatever she's going to do. Then I don't do it. I do this for a reason. I do this in all of my relationships, every relationship I ever had, because it tempers them to think like a male. After 20, 30 times, it might take 20 or 30 times with the female, but generally it won't. It'll only take 1 or 2 times to obtain the desired results. I would like to take the time right now to note that these situations are not generally in a male-female sexual or romantic relationship. These situations are in any situation with a female. That includes mother, sister, friend, any situation, since 54% of the world is comprised of female. So don't simply say this is tell yourself that this is in a sexual situation or romantic situation. This could be in any situation. So let me read a short excerpt from a little article so you understand, and I'll try to put this in a low bar too, but if I forget, I'm sorry. A study completed recently in December 2013 on nearly 1,000 brains has surprisingly confirmed that what many have thought, that men and women use their brain indeed in fundamentally different ways. I'm going to paraphrase a lot of this, so that's okay because it's my vlog. The research showed that on average, female brains are highly connected between the left and the right hemisphere, and the connection in the male brains is stronger between the front and the back regions. Men's brains tend to perform tasks predominantly on the left side, which is logical and rational side of the brains. Women, on the other hand, use both sides of the brain because women's brains, they're going to confuse it with being larger or more adequate, but this is not the truth. What happens here is women have to share those sides of the brains, so it reduces the ability of both sides to function. They become emotional when rationality is needed. They become over-rational when emotional is needed. They confuse the two. Men don't do this. Here's a list of basic differences between the men's brain and the research studies found. They're going to say, okay, brain size and brain connections. Women's brains are 8% smaller than men's brains. This is generally due to size, multitasking. Men and women tend to be better at learning and performing single tasks like cycling or navigating. I want you to navigating situations, and women are better at judging. So that tells you a lot right there. Social connections. Women are better at social thinking and interactions than men, while men are more abstract and task-oriented. Emotions. Now, women typically have a larger limbic system than men, which make them more in touch with their expressions and emotions. This is because they're sharing that side of the brain. I like to explain this right now. You can put yourself in this situation. Let's do a mind exercise. You walk into a social. As a man, as a single man, you walk into a social situation like a bar or a club or something like that. And what do you start doing? You can look at what you're doing. You can judge what you're doing. I look at situations in groups or people, and it goes to the back of my brain, and then it comes forward to the front of my brain. There's a whole lot of scientific words which I won't use. So what happens at that point when it comes forward is you draw a picture of how the situation is going to work out based on knowledge of the people, past information, and any information that you have drawn in your life about that situation. Now, when you look over this room, you're making decisions which pattern you're going to go. If you see a girl or a man and a girl that's talking, or a group, I generally tend to stay away from group situations of traditional man, woman, that are all talking, because they get rather irritating to me. So I'm drawing all these decisions. I'm drawing a picture of how that conversation is going to go in my head, or how that situation is going to go in my head. And then I make a decision. This happens in a split second with most males. They're going to make a decision which direction they're going to go in that bar or that social situation or whatever is happening there, and they're going to choose their group. Now, women do this a little differently. You'll see when you and a woman walk into a bar, you're tending to go one way. She's veering another way, and it usually is towards that traditional group that you want to try to avoid as a Mgtow. So we can see the differences, and that group is a more social group, which is going to sling things back and forth between them in a traditional values. You want to avoid that as a Mgtow, so you want to go to where the fun is, or where the situation, where you can control the situation, and you know how that's going to work out, and there's going to be there's going to be none of that silly emotions. There's going to be none of drama, is what I'm saying. There's going to be no drama in that situation. Men exclude these things by thinking rationally. We drew up the picture, we eliminated the drama, unless that's what you're looking for, and that would be kind of weird for a man. But there are some, homosexual males that like that, so they'll drift towards the, the female side of that thing. So at this point, I'm going to stop talking about that and get back on the subject. If you're in a relationship with a female, and you know that she's being irrational, and Sandman just did a video on the shit test, and I had a conversation last night with a man. I think it was Cypher or something. I can't remember right now. It was a good conversation, and it enlightened me to the idea, or what I do in life. I simply do the rational, and I continue with the rational until the rational is seen by the females. If you're going to be in that kind of a relationship, you have to learn how they're going to act, and you're going to have to learn how they're going to react in a situation. There are many myths about how the brain works, and there's a whole lot of things that, there's the lie that people only use 10% of their brain. I do believe women only use 10% of their brain, but the truth is all humans use 100% of what's available to them, and that's the truth. Okay, now an important situation to note is you have the white knight, the cackling hyena in waiting. If you are in these relations, I don't suggest being in these relationships. I've given them up over the years, but I could tell you this also works. Classic white knighting. The hyena in waiting. Anytime you have a woman, a lot of times when you have a woman, there's going to be, she has a male friend. Blah, blah, blah. So what? It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't provide me with anything, but I can use this to my advantage. I can use this classic white knighting, pussy hounding, male behavior to my advantage, and I'll explain this to you. And it works on the same principle of the left side and the right side of the brain and emotions. She wants you to paint her garage door, blah, blah, blah. She's planned your day painting her garage door or whatever, and you really, that wasn't in the plans. In your plans, you may have another girlfriend, you may want to go out with the guys, go bowling or whatever. Simply tell her you're going to do it. Then continue doing what you were going to do anyways, and don't do it. As soon as you leave or as soon as you go away, she's going to do one thing. She's going to run to the white knight or hyena and the cackling hyena in waiting, and they're going to talk about you. And this is important to note in any relationship, that as long as the conversation's on you, that's what you want. You're telling her about yourself, and the conversation's on you, the important person in this relationship. So they're going to come up and devise plans and to see if they can get you to do this. Simply continue the game. Tell her you're going to do it and don't do it. Sooner or later, the white knight is going to jump up and do it. I've had a recent situation with this recently in my wife with an ex-lover that keeps calling me to fix a chain and pulley system. A chain and pulley system on her a industrial building she had. We keep in touch, we talk, but I don't fall for these things anymore. So I said I was going to do it, then I didn't show up and did what I was going to do. Then she called me back, I said I was going to do it, she didn't show up and did what she's, she kept doing what she was going to do, and I kept doing what I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do is whatever I want to do as a Mgtow, whatever I have planned rationally for that day. So the conversation occurs with the white knight in a white knight situation, trying to get me to do this. Sooner or later, the white knight's going to break down. He's going to reach in his pocket. He's going to pussy hound. He's going to do the classic hyena move. And I come over one day, and guess what was up? A brand new door and a brand new pulley system, which he paid for out of his pocket. You obtained his utility by using the female brain as a weapon against him. Classic white knighting. It's classic white knighting, and you have to manipulate those situations. And this is one small thing you can do. Now, don't take this in every situation. You'll have to figure out other situations that work for you. And take a girl to the beach is a very good situation. Take her to the beach. Mentally, in her little inferior brain, let her go to the beach. And then do what you're going to do regardless. And always consider that the white knight, the pussy hound, and the cackling hyena is there, and he wants to take your place. Don't let that bother you. Use his utility against him. Maybe he'll get it someday. Maybe he won't. But don't let it harm you. And be strong, Mgtows. Thanks.